Hello everyone, DonTheCrown here, and it is about 20 hours into the Arcana League, and I want to give you some first insights for the season mechanic, some tips and tricks, and just kind of go over it in general, because I know there's been a lot of questions about how you handle some of this stuff. So as you're going through the game, you're going to be finding these purple cards here, and these purple cards pretty much are the interactable thing inside your Netherrealm maps that you are going to activate. And you activate them just by walking over them like so. And they will slowly turn and reveal a face card or a tarot card, and along with a name as well. Now you can activate more than one card at the same time. It can be very dangerous to do that. So I don't necessarily recommend that. However, what you can do is just activate them one at a time and see what you get. So the Chariot here, for example, is going to spawn a whole bunch of enemies that are going to charge at you with these large telegraphs. Now, while they're preparing to charge, they are completely immune to damage, so you can't really do anything about it. But what you can do is you can go force them all to charge into one spot against a wall. So like, for example, here, if I had just stood still at this spot here, some of them would have charged past me to the left, someone would have charged past me to the right, and they would have been like all over the place. And instead, what I do is I just walk up to the wall and I put them all in one spot, and they're vulnerable to damage, and they just kind of explode. Now, when you clear a card, your little tarot card number thing in the top corner up here is going to progress by 1. So it's going to go to 12 up to 13. And that lets you know that you've cleared the card and that you are ready. You're getting one step closer to being ready for the next step, which is the tarot path. So this is the Hermit, and the Hermit here puts out these little purple sparkly guys, and these guys are invincible to damage and are not targetable at all unless you are very close to them. And I believe that you personally, as the player, need to be very close to them so that you can flip them around, be able to damage them. So that's what you need to do for this particular one. And here's another example of that, of some more cards here. So as we're going through, we're going to flip the card around, and this is the Empress. And what the Empress does is she will make this little bubble here with a whole bunch of like chained minions, and you have to kite the minions outside of the purple circle, and then they will become vulnerable. If you try to kill them while they're inside the circle, they won't die and the Empress won't die. But as soon as all the minions pass away, you'll be good to go. Now, this one here is the Devil. And the Devil is probably the worst out of all of the cards because basically it gives you a whole bunch of enemies that all explode on death. If you ever played Path of Exile, this is like porcupines, but if they had guns. And so they're going to die, and they shoot out these projectiles. I think they're quite overtuned right now, so you have to be relatively careful with that. Definitely, what I tend to do is just run away as I just throw damage out at them and hopefully be able to dodge their attacks. Now, the next one here is a little bit confusing. This is maybe one of those confusing cards, and it's the Magician. He'll summon up a whole bunch of different hats that will be under a proximity shield. And what you need to do is find the one that is gold and kill this one first, and it'll kill all the other hats. And so what you want to do is just walk right up to it basically and hit it, and you should be able to clear quickly. So you see after the gold hat dies, the entire thing clears right away. If you kill any other hat besides the gold hat, all the other hats will become invulnerable for like 10 seconds or something, which is quite a pain in the butt. Now, the last one of these cards that is pretty hard to figure out at first is the Hanged Man. And what that does is when you flip the card, it'll drop a safe zone right underneath the card. And the farther away you get from the safe zone, the more damage you're going to take. And if you get like even half the screen away, you're probably dead. And the only way you can be safe is if, for example, the Hanged Man was like over here. If I put a wall between me and it, the mob that comes along and pushes you towards the safe zone will only be able to push you a little bit. You'll take a little bit of damage. But realistically, you just want to stand directly on the card. Unfortunately, I didn't have a clip for this one ready to go. Now, once you're done stacking up all your cards here, you'll see it'll be like 15 out of 15. It'll kind of be flashing. You can activate this in your map. You can activate it in the town, but it'll pop up with this. Now, if you have the pet, it'll give you potentially some extra things, but you'll see a whole bunch of cards here. Now, as you're finishing out those cards in the maps, you will get notes. And they'll be like good notes, bad notes, great notes. And that is basically these here is like the extra cards that allow you to move down the game board. And pretty much the goal here is to fill up this side thing over here. I'm actually going to flip sides real quick. 2 of me. Now there's 1 of me. So the goal here is to fill up these 7 spots of loot and then to make them as high quality as possible. And so we're looking for treasure chests as we go. There's a couple of different nodes here. So if you notice right away, this is our like Monopoly board type of thing. We have 2 lives, and you know, this, if it goes down to 0, we automatically end and have to like go into the reward phase. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to go through and be successful in juicing up our map as much as possible. Move myself right here. So you have basically your default card right here. There will always be a card here that lets you move forward. And then you can get cards that either let you move forward a set amount, lets you pick a particular dice roll, or lets you move backwards. These backwards ones are actually very, very powerful, or lets you change or upgrade your treasure chests here. So we start off here. I can hover over the cards and it'll show me exactly how far we're going to go, which is pretty nice. And also if I hover over any tile, it will show me how many spaces it would cost me to go there. So I could be like, this is a 3. Do I have any 3s that I could pick down here? No, I do not. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to activate this card here to make a 4, and then we're going to go back 1. Now, one thing to note is if you just right click on a card, it'll automatically activate it, which is rather nice. It's just a little bit easier. So I'm going to right click here. We're moving forwards by 4 tiles. And then I'm going to go backwards by 1 tile because a red chest is pretty valuable. Now there's a long board in front of us. So we're going to try to not be using too many cards, but we do want to try to pick up good chests along the way. We get this one basically for free. And then you can also pick up cards. So this card here would give me a chest upgrade for a blue chest. This one gives us, I believe, a random dice. And then there is this type of node here that gives us some sort of random reward. This can give you cards. This can upgrade your chests. This can put chests on to the table ahead of you and remove hazards. And it's just generally really good to try to get these as much as possible. So we're going to move forward here. And then I am going to use my 6 dice to land on this right away. And this one gave me a treasure chest upgrade here. So we're just going to continue to move forward here. Like so. So now I can see that if I use this dice, I'm going to land on this slashed heart, which means that we would lose 1 life, which is really bad for us. We don't want this. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to cash in a number 2 here to go to this random treasure. Like so. And so we got 2 random notes here, which is very useful for us. And then let's do this, a 3. And so we need another 3 here, or we can just roll this 2 and see what we get. I'm going to roll a 1 and then a 2. So we got another backup card, which is kind of nice. I can always scroll backwards and a little bit forwards to see what's happening, but sometimes you can't see if you're at the end of the board until you're like really at the end of the board here. So we would need a 5 to go here. So I'm just going to roll this 3 and see what happens. Well, we didn't hit that. So I'm going to flip over this 2. I do try to be pretty aggressive with my card usage to hit these special ones, because these can give you like some good stuff down the line. So we need 6 here. So we're just going to roll our 4. We get +1 life, and then we get +2. So now a random note of increase here, which is pretty nice. And then we're going to land on this card here, which gives us more cards. We're just going to kind of keep going down the board. Hey, look, we're going to get this. That gives us more notes as well. We're going to go take a -1 here to land back on that. We can go forward by 3, which means I'm going to cash in this to get a 3 forward. I kind of have to be careful of all of these negative squares. We can potentially go forward 4. I'm going to go forward 5 here and then back 2. Just trying to get as many of these special squares as possible right now, because we don't really know what the reward is going to be for them, but it could be something good. I mean, it could be anything. It could be a card. It could be an upgrade. It could be a boat. So, you know, we just try to go forward and get as many things as we can. So we're starting to get a lot of these negative squares, so we're going to have to kind of be careful here. We're going to push forward to get more of these. We could land on this tile pretty easily. But I do want to get this upgrade chest, so I'm going to pick up this. And then if we go, we have back 5 here. We're going to have to take damage here either way. So I'm going to roll. So we can see we go forward by 5. Let's go forward by 5, I guess. Then we're going to go here. And then you'll always end up in this last one. So we're at the very, very end. So we'll always be able to hit that one. So I'm going to go, this is 10. So I'm going to do 2 -5s all the way back. We have more cards to go again. And we can see this is the last treasure chest. So I want to make sure we pick this up. And we're going to go forward here by 4. We go forward by 6. We go back by 6. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to just roll this until I get a 4 then. So you can continuously roll. We're at the end of the board. And so we're going to roll backwards now. And then go pick this up. So 1 random chest goes up in quality. Now we're going to go level up all of our chests. And we're pretty much done. There's nothing else really for us to do. So we can just click start contest. Now, if I ran out of life, we would also be able to start the contest. Now, heads up, there'd be a little bit of booba here in this next section here. But you just click enter fateful contest here. Now, do note that if you are gathering the tarot cards here and you are doing maps that aren't affected by confusion cards, there's a chance that a drop quantity penalty will be in effect when doing the fateful contest. So you do always want to be doing confusion cards. And once you reach stage 86, time mark 8, Chests of Destiny have a chance to drop rare fates. And then in profound time mark 8, you can get destinies that have kismets, dual kismets, and undetermined fates. So you pretty much only have to go to profound of the season. And there you go. So this is the boss of the season. And so when you activate the thing here, she will either drop the chest for you, or she will cause you to have to fight some cards. So we got some loot here. So there's this blue thing. We're going to activate it. And we're going to get some cards to fight. So we have a Hermit. We already know what to do here. We just have to get close. And typically when you start like doing these, you'll get the same cards repeatedly. And enemies will continue to get summoned until you kill all the targets for like Hermit or whatever. We'll activate here. So you're going to drop another card. Probably, oh, star. So here, I just need to kind of move. We'll kind of shoot down tons of projectiles at me. And then now we're pretty safe. Ooh, and we need to just keep moving and keep shooting. and enemies will just die. Typically, once the chest appears, enemies are all going to disappear as well if there's any extra. Okay, my pet procced here, so we got a triple proc, which is pretty nice. We got incredibly lucky with our pulls on the pet. We're at a level 5 right now, which is pretty nuts. All right, so this is the High Priestess. High Priestess is kind of weird. You have to get close to the golem as fast as possible. Oh boy. And if you don't get close to him, he actually just starts kind of soul eatering everything that dies. And so this can be a major problem if you allow them to really build up, because they can become very, very tanky. Especially in this game mode. Okay, so we're going to get a High Priestess and a Chariot here. The Chariot's coming first. The High Priestess is up now, so I want to go and touch it before it has a chance to really eat anything. Oh, and I popped out of my form, unfortunately. I just changed my hotkeys, so a little bit rusty to my own build now. And we're using the Thunder Spirit with jump. Oh, another proc. Nice. Very lucky. Pick everything up. We keep proccing. We have 2 more chests to go. Typically, the chests get more different. Oh, no. We have the devil, and we have the star. So, oh, we gonna die. Or not. Or maybe. Or yeah. So, yeah, that's the devil. That's the star. Oh, we have the star again and the devil. As I said, lots of times you're going to get the same ones repeatedly. And yeah, I think that they have to do something about the devil. It just feels a little oppressive right now. There's like not really much you can kind of do for counterplay. It just fills up the field. Trying to not die anymore. So as the Chariot guys are charging forward, they are vulnerable. And there we go. That's all the loot. We zoom out. That lets you know that all of the chests are gone now. You can say goodbye to Arcana, and there you go. That's the entire season mechanic. You're now ready to go again. 0 out of 15. And there you go. Hopefully this video helped you out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know how your season start has been going. See you next time. Come by the stream.